There we go. So in the first video we did this as a not a so responsive screen. We did it for larger screen, but for smaller screen it won't look good, so we need to make it responsive. How can we achieve that? So to achieve this in smaller screens, then what we can do here is make use of something called media queries in CSS. What are media queries? So media queries are, for example, on a smaller screen, that's a separate media query or a separate screen size. On larger screen, that's a separate screen size. And to test out the different screens, you can use this tab here that will allow you to select different screens. And you might notice when you open that for your screen or for your Chrome or your browser of choice, you might not be seeing the rest of the devices, the same that I have. So just go down to your list, click on edit, then it will open this other tab place here where you can be able to go and select in all that you want. Then just close it, and it will add a number of components here. So we have Nexus 6 and I have added iPad. There you go. So it will add all those. So you can also like come here and set the frames, show media queries, show hide device frame. Yeah, much, but I like using Nexus 6 for my smaller screen. Anyway, so let's get into it and let me hide these media queries. Yeah. So we want it in that when it's in a small screen, we don't want it to happen or to be like this. So let's achieve that one. So we had these classes here, card, larger card, body, and everything. So the first thing I want to take care of is the body. So we'll just come here, just below, and I'll just add another here, another comment and say responsive styles. And for the responsive styles, I need to do a media query. So how do you write one? So I'm going to say at media screen. So this will give me access to the media screen. That is the screen, that is the browser screen. And usually we have at media screen and we also have at media print. At media print. So for printing purposes, ile yenye mtu unakuja unapata hivi amefanya hivyo, alafu ana print. How do we print a page? I don't know. Yeah, so you can design how your print will look like, but currently we are designing for the screen. And I'm also going to add another and there and say brackets, and in this brackets I'm going to say max width colon 768 px. If we have a maximum, this screen yet can only go up to a maximum of 768 pixels, then just set the body to have a background of red. So currently our body has a background of red, but the moment I set to responsive, you will notice the background is gone. But watch this value here, this 1268 as I go down. So if I go down, I'm at below 768 there. So up to this point, we can say it might be looking good, but we can say the width that we want to take care of is maybe the moment we reach this width, let's say the moment we reach at 1000 width, we need to alter everything and go to smaller screen. But let's do at 768, not at 1000. So if that's the maximum width or this condition is met, this one here, max width of 768, that's the maximum width. Then I want us to not to change the background color, but rather change the height to auto and set the mean height to 100 vertical height, like that. So if I go beyond 768, it will set the mean height to that given height, like that. So if I check the body now, check the styles, height has been altered because sahii inasema imewekewa slash, and this height auto to mean height of 100 VH has taken into account. The next thing we want to take care of is this card. Where is the card? The larger card. This larger card, I want to set its width to a given width. So I come here, select the larger card, dot larger card, like that, and say the max width. I want it to have a maximum width of about 90%, like that. That way it won't like hit the corners. Yeah. The next thing we want to take care of after the larger card is the inner card. Where is the inner card? Here, this one. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Inner card, this one. I also want to set its position to something else. So just go down and set the inner card. I want to alter its position from absolute to sort of relative or static, like that, so that it will like find itself in the right place. Then after setting the position, I'm also going to set the top. Why is it like that? A moment. So we had this other positions here. Oh, where are you? Inner card, where are you? So I also need to get rid of the top right and the transform value. So I'm going to set the top to 0, the left, I believe, 0, and the right to 0. I'm just resetting this. And also I need to reset transform. Can I say none? Yes. Now I've set the transform value. Then the next thing I want to get rid of is the width on this card, or reset the width to something else. So instead of the given width of 40%, now let's set it to maybe 100%. So it will just take care of the entire width like that. Then I want also to affect the width given on this other top card here. This content, where was it? The content card. This one, card content, also wants to affect the width because it's under larger card, so just below there. So just say dot card content, affect the width, and just let it be at that given width of 100%. And also below, after that, also set the margin bottom of about 10 px, or let's actually set it at 20, like that. So therefore we have currently done the smaller screen, but the more we go down, the more you notice our padding is kind of not good. So I can just say below 5, below this, that's below 425 px, or below, yeah, below 426 pixels, set a different padding. So copy that, added the curly bracket there. So I'm also going to watch at below 425. Was it 425 px? Yes. And I'm going to affect the card itself, and resetting the widths, or not the width, but rather the paddings. And I'm going to set them to 20 px instead, like that. So the more we go low, and everything is kind of looking good now. That's how you do responsive design using media queries, nothing else. It's like taking the old classes and giving them new properties. So something to reset, you reset. Something to not set, you didn't have, you also adjust. So the moment we go beyond below 768 pixels, it aligns everything in the right order. Then as we go down, the moment we hit below 425 px, like that, we also reduce the padding of the card. And one thing you can do over the card is maybe go back to the card on top here, where I see it card, and here add some transition of maybe transition everything with 0.2s and with this transition functionality of linear. So everything like zoom in the way it should. Like if it's padding, reduce it in a more like a more unique way. Don't like jump. Just go with the nice transition like that. Yeah, I believe for the responsive design, that's all it's done. So the moment we are at a smaller screen, it's looking great. So select your screen, that's what it will look like, except our body has not allowed for the overflow. So let's go down here where we set the first height and set the overflow to auto, and also add some padding now, usually padding block, that's padding top and bottom, just do 50 px maybe, and everything will move like, and it will allow now the scroll. So that's the responsive design part of things. So that's how you do responsive screens. Any questions so far? Yes. Yeah, the moment you select a different screen, provided it fits or it falls under the media queries you used, you can use as much or as many media queries as you want at that particular point. So for example, you have used the two. The first one to reset the body properties, that's the height, because on top of here we had given a fixed height. We had set a fixed maybe display flex. You can also reset the display to something else. We had set overflow hidden. So I went ahead and reset those for this screen. Instead of us just having overflow hidden, now let there be an overflow if it's possible to have an overflow, and also add some padding on top and bottom, and now give a midi height of 100 with a height of auto instead of a fixed height of 100 view height. So yeah, it will just work. And also we did another selection of another media screen here, where we just selected anything that's below 425 px. We just reset the padding on the card from 50 px to 20 pixels, so that padding is kubwa sana in smaller screens. Yeah, it will work for any screen. You're welcome. So another question?